What's up? I'm Joey Thurman, and I'm honored that Brooke Burke let me introduce myself first. What are we doing here, Brooke?
And I let him into the kitchen. If I can create enough fuel for him. Hi, everybody.
I don't know.
Brooke.
I need lots of calories.
It's time because we've got a really exciting day of shooting. So I have a recipe for life. It's sort of my go-to, and it has evolved over time. I'm a big
Like
smoothie.
you've evolved over time.
I keep reinventing my smoothie. I hope I get to reinvent
You should
myself.
reinvent yourself and your smoothies. Yes.
Thank you. Well, welcome to my kitchen.
Thank you.
And I love to share things that make life a little bit easier for everybody. And I need to fuel my body. I need to recover. I need energy. It's nutrient dense. I do not count calories. I need fat. I need fuel. I need anti-inflammatory products. And I'm obsessed with superfoods. Okay, so I'm gonna make a smoothie. I'm gonna double it up. And I'm gonna, and you're gonna let me know what you think.
Because why? I got the man muscles. Okay, she's gonna double it up, superfoods, and I'm ready for it.
And also, I never compromise flavor because if I don't enjoy it, I'm not gonna do it, and I'm not gonna stick to it. And I really love to guide and inspire people to create a sustainable plan, a lifestyle that they can really stick to, that they're not gonna give up on. Because if this doesn't taste great, my kids are not eating it, and I'm not going back to it. And this is like my milkshake.
I love it. I have the same thing. Like I have a sweet tooth, but by having something like this, just feeds that need a little bit. So I think I hate it when people say, I'm going on a diet, so that food shouldn't taste good.
Yeah, let's just die, D-I-E.
D-I-E, yeah, that's right. Like every body, B-O-D-Y,
I know.
Is different. So I love things that taste good that actually you can, whether you're maintaining, you're increasing your weight, or you want to take off a little bit of body fat. It can taste good.
I think so too. And since you've mentioned body fat, like we need fat. Fat doesn't make you fat. And there's all these myths. And people often ask me how many calories are. I have no idea. I mean, I could guess, but it would scare people. I do not want to count calories.
Guess.
And I know I need protein. I've recently started counting protein because as a woman, especially after menopause, body's changing, workout stays the same, nutritional plan is the same, everything starts shifting. Yeah. And I had to learn and really dive deep and become a detective and go, my body needs more protein. And it's not easy for someone like me to consume the protein that my body is asking for.
Yeah, you're gonna freak out.
I mean, we just talked about this, you guys.
It's a lot.
What he's eating in a day. I would be in a total food coma. So I, as a woman, I need to be efficient, I need to be mindful, and I need to get it done quite quickly. So I usually knock out a couple smoothies in the morning, even for the kids, to-go cups. I know their brain is fueled up. I know they've got everything they need. I actually have less sugar cravings because this tastes like a milkshake. It's really easy to make. And then I mix it up also with the seasons. So I love the fragrances. I love produce that's seasonal. I love pumpkin in the holidays. I love berries in the summer. I love watermelon. It's like summer happiness. So today we're going to do super simple.
Okay.
And I love to tell people to mix it up and bring in things that you love. I even put salt in there for hydration. I mean,
and here's the thing, like salt has a bad rap. Now, if you're having highly processed foods and ultra processed, yes, you're having excess sodium, and then people adding sodium to that. Yes, that's not a good thing. But I have about 5,000 milligrams a day because I'm eating whole foods, clean foods, not that are extra processed. And as you're sweating, you're losing those electrolytes, so you need to refuel yourself.
Totally.
Cut the ultra processed foods first, and then you can start adding some sodium in there, because you cut all of your sodium right away. You're actually going to start feeling a little bit weak.
It's great advice, and there are so many myths. I wish we could do like a myth buster video for people, but salt is one of them. I eat a lot of salt. I flavor with salt. I never skimp on flavor, but I also drink a ton of water.
Yes.
And I tell people, if you're hungry, you're probably dehydrated.
Yes.
So hydrate, hydrate, hydrate. Okay, I'm going to show you how incredibly easy this is.
Cool.
And we're going to add more protein.
Oh, yeah. Did you hurt your hand there, squeezing it?
Okay. Another myth. Almond milk has hardly any protein in it. You might as well use water, but I like the taste of it. Oat, almond, walnut, pistachio milk, kind of yummy, a little bit more high end, a little bit higher in calories and fat, but I like it.
Hemp, flax, the cashew, coconut milk. It just gives it a little bit of creaminess, and as she was saying before, it just kind of makes it like milkshakey.
And creamy, I'm going to show you a couple cheats on that too. So probably about maybe 3 grams of protein and 8 ounces of almond milk. Not much. I calculated this other day. I got it wrong so many times. So we're going to do 8 ounces-ish. I don't count calories and I don't measure, so we're guessing it here, okay? 2 scoops of love, I like to call this.
Oh, of love.
Of love.
Oh, I like that.
Love. So longevity, it's not a protein powder. It's a superfood blend, but it's got all kinds of good things in there. Probiotics, flax seeds, chia, maca, Cacao, amazing superfood.
No, you can't say cacao without saying cacao. That's great.
So I'm gonna put 3 scoops for us today.
Okay.
I love the flavor of cinnamon. Are you cool with cinnamon?
Cinnamon's great, especially cinnamon can have a blood sugar response that blunts it.
It does. It does. Tell everybody about that,
Yes.
because I think that's something people don't know, and I usually just refer to anti-inflammatory,
Yep.
but the blood sugar thing's super important.
Exactly, it'll maintain that. So like even if you have something sweet, that you can add some cinnamon to it, so that'll limit that blood sugar spike, so you don't have that crash. Especially people that are diabetic or pre-diabetic. A little bit of cinnamon, things can help with that. Walking after a meal, I sometimes call
digestion.
digestion.
Walk.
Yeah, that's or prokinetic. Prokinetic. I sometimes call those fart walks because you just gotta digest a little bit.
I do not.
She liked that. No, she did off camera. It's fine. They're fart walks, but it's spectacular to lower that. Yeah, we're still filming here, Brooke.
You just said that.
But spectacular cinnamon, yes.
But super, super important. I mean, and we'll just give them all the good stuff while we're making this. Even to like eat your last meal a little bit earlier in the evening. Go out and take a digestion walk so that your body can rest when you're sleeping and actually recover and not be working so hard to just get through all the food.
Exactly. And if you're doing that as the sun's going down, you're starting to regulate your circadian rhythm. Yeah, increase that melatonin production.
Okay. So 2 big spoons of almond butter, okay? Don't be afraid of the fat. We need fat. Fat will not make you fat, people.
Yes.
Okay? So we've got almond butter. Let's put a little bit of salt in there. And usually I'll use Himalayan because we're going to sweat today. We're going to hydrate.
Yep.
Also, a little pop of salt brings out the flavor.
It does.
You've got to find your sweet spot in the right amount. But if you put salt in anything sweet, it really enhances the flavor. And I love
It's like a dark chocolate to have that sea salt on it.
Yes. So we're going to do frozen bananas. And I always do a big prep day. So if you have good things on hand and you can get in the kitchen and prep, I call it grab and go. You're going to succeed. So I chop up my bananas. I put them in a container.
Good.
I usually use a medley of berries, antioxidants, everybody. And I'll use any kind of berries that we can get.
Yes.
Blueberries, raspberries, whatever.
They're all good. They're
all good.
I'm going to say it. Okay, they're very good. Okay. All right.
So I just started using this, and I really like this, and any brand will do. This is MCT and collagen. So again, fat. Fat will make you fat. But this is kind of creamy and yummy and almost a little bit like buttery. I used to put butter in there. I used to do the old go-to MCT oil. I used to put it in my coffee. I'm
done that before.
Coffee snob. I don't always do it anymore, but we need it sometimes.
It just tastes good, and it will actually slow down digestion a little bit, so it'll keep you fuller a little bit longer.
Yeah, and it really does. I intermittent fast. I've been doing that forever. So I need that cream, full fat. I think we were all raised, most of us, to do non-fat, which is just loaded with shit and sugar.
Yep.
Non-fat is not my jam.
Shit and sugar.
Shit and sugar. Yeah. Get rid of the shit and sugar. If you want to say that.
Yeah, we did. It's fine.
But I think that if we put the right things into our body, we are more satisfied. We are more hydrated. We are fueled up, and it's sustainable.
Yes.
Right. So, new thing for me: protein. It's really hard for me to get enough protein in my actual meals that are food, not powders.
That smells good.
I know, it's not bad, right? So we're going to do 2 scoops of this because you're so strong.
Yeah, thank you.
And I need the protein. Yeah. So I think if I calculated all of this up, I'm about 35 grams of protein-ish, which might not seem like a lot for you. It's a lot for me.
But I mean, that's so if, let's say she eats 100 grams and she's eating 3 times a day, 35 grams, and she has 3 meals a day, then you're at that 90 to 100 marker. So it's very easy to split it up like that, as opposed to having one big bolus of food, or people think like, oh, I need to have a big, massive tomahawk steak. No.
Yeah, but sometimes I like a big steak.
I do like a big steak, yes.
Big steaks. And then I put ice in my smoothie. And everybody is always asking, and I do not work for this company, but I love this blender. I love this blender. Isn't it cool looking? This is called a Beast. Oh, no.
Okay.
I thought you might like that.
That's my nickname. We're going to switch it up.
All right, so we're going to blend this baby up. But again, recipe for life, super easy. Nut butter, whatever your jam is. I don't do dairy. I do a little bit of dairy in my morning coffee. So almond butter, almond milk, frozen bananas, berries, if you'd like that. Any kind of berries will do. Some form of protein, because there's not enough here. Sometimes I put whole Greek yogurt, whole Greek fat,
Greek yogurt,
probiotics, fat, different flavor. So I love the combo of the almond butter and the cinnamon and a little bit of like the MCT butter, right? So here we go.
Right through. Okay, let's beef it up.
Right? And I really think that people can find some freedom in experimenting with flavors. Find things that you love. Fall, pears, cinnamon, nutmeg. Seasonal fragrances, right? It's so good. And And don't be afraid to experiment. Sometimes I put my leftover morning coffee in here.
Oh, I love coffee in a protein shake.
I'm a big coffee
Here's the thing.
person.
You put a bunch of ingredients that taste good by themselves together, it's probably not taste good.
I know. Coffee, cinnamon. Come on. Look at that.
Oh, yeah.
So for me, this is my meal. This is my whole meal. I get everything I need in this recipe. Be honest, because it's very personal.
You got to cheers.
Cheers.
Okay. You got to look in the eyes.
It's the longevity, life,
yes.
health, wealth.
Life, health, wealth, and protein.
And milkshakes.
That is very creamy and delicious and nutritious. As we said earlier, calories will determine your weight. You don't need to track them. Macronutrients, carbohydrates, proteins, fats will determine how you look.
Can you break that down for people who don't understand macronutrients? Because I love that formula. And sometimes it has to make sense for people in order to keep doing it. Like, I know that this makes me feel good.
Yes.
So my body asks for it.
So basically, calories, no matter what, every single study, calories determine how much you weigh, right? You overeat, you're going to gain weight eventually, right? There's some little nuances with hormones and things that affect that, but you eat a lot, you're probably going to gain a lot, especially if you're not moving in excessive amounts. Macronutrients, carbs, proteins, fats, those are going to fuel your body. You're going to feel good. The protein is the number one. You hit your protein number,
protein.
then the fats can go up, the carbohydrate can go up. It's just kind of a little seesaw there. Hit those protein numbers. Micronutrients, your vitamins, your minerals, those are going to help you feel so much better, sleep better, and help with those hormonal processes, especially if you're perimenopause, postmenopause, in menopause. All those things right there will really help you look good, but also feel good too. Because I always tell people, like, they say, oh, you look amazing. No, you look like you feel amazing.
You look like you feel amazing. I love that line. And if we could start using those words to people as well. You look like you feel amazing. What isn't that the ultimate compliment?
It is.
I have two questions for you because I think this is valuable. Because it's a bit controversial. Protein. What is your opinion on how much protein per body weight? Is it different for men and women? What's your opinion on this?
So it's only going to be different for men and women just because men are generally bigger, right? We have more fat-free mass, so we're going to require a little bit more. Now, I think females can get away with like 0.75-ish per gram. So
because I've heard 1 gram per pound, I'm like, whoa, that is a lot of protein.
But generally, when they look at those studies, they're looking at fat-free mass. So you don't need to do big calculations, but let's say for ease of math here, if you're 200 pounds, you're 10% body fat, then you have 20 pounds of fat there. So 180 grams there would be what that individual would need. For me, I need a lot. For you, 80 to 100.
And does lifestyle play a part in that as well?
Absolutely.
Training.
The more active you are, you're going to need that to fuel your body. The less active, so when they look at the FDA, the RDA recommendations, that protein amount, which is like 30 or 40 grams, that's just to keep you alive if you were laying in bed the whole time. So it's massively underestimated. I have lots of friends in nutrition research, and they say it's underestimated even for children as well. So do we need to have 500 grams? No. But if you're hitting around a gram, give or take, you're completely fine. There's even some studies where bodybuilders are having 3 grams per pound of body weight.
Wow.
But they're not having excessive amounts of carbohydrates and fats, which those calories go up.
So it really is a combination of all of the things that we're putting into our body, how our body processes it. And also lifestyle plays a big part of it because I didn't need as much protein in my 40s as I need in my 50s. I needed more protein after menopause because my body was changing. The muscles get softer. Your lean muscle mass changes. Energy levels change. Hormones change. Libido, the whole freaking thing.
The whole thing, right? Because you start losing calcium, you start losing muscle tissue. So you're going to need to feed yourself and feed your body with that, especially that protein. That's one thing people get afraid of. And protein is not going to harm your kidneys or anything unless you have some sort of really kidney issue. You'll be completely fine, I promise.
How do you feel about L-leucine being like sort of, I like to call her the queen of protein.
Well, that is because
I would have to eat 16 eggs.
That's what you need. You need that leucine. It's called a leucine threshold to increase what's called muscle protein synthesis. All that means is you're having the proper amounts of protein types to increase those processes will help you just look better and feel better.
And some are better than others.
Absolutely.
I will leave everybody with this little tip as well. Read your labels. You may think you're getting enough protein. You might not realize that it's 2 scoops, not 1. You might not realize that nut milk has hardly any protein. You might be miscalculating your protein intake. Take a look at even like your almond milk, for example. Find the one that says only 3 ingredients. So it doesn't have all the other crap that's not serving you, unless you're making your own and it's time to do that. But read labels.
Yes. Labels are huge.
Read labels.
And often the serving size So whether you're having a candy bar, probably shouldn't, although delicious if you love them. Sometimes those king size, you flip over the back, like, oh,
there's like 3
calories. There's 2 or 3 servings.
Look, this is the same thing. You would have to have 2 giant tablespoons of almond butter. That would be a lot for me. I put 2 and 2 times to get the protein intake. So read your labels, pay attention, take care of yourself, create your own recipe for life, create something that's delicious, that you crave, that you like, that you look forward to. Otherwise, you're never going to maintain it.
I love that.
Right?
I think that's great.
Thanks, friend.
Cheers.
That's good info. Cheers.
Always